What's up, guys? We are back, and I'm looking at some more NBA plays in today's video. We were 1 assist, 0.5 away from a back-to-back-to-back-to-back sweep yesterday. So we've hit now 11 of the last 12 plays in these YouTube videos, looking to improve on that record and make it a 14-1 run. Our read yesterday was pretty good. We needed 5 assists from Beekman. He only played 12 minutes, though. He saw half of what I was expecting, so he's happy to get benched. He was kind of playing bad. Blowout seemed to not really help, even though he's a rookie. He just still only played 12 minutes as a starter and only finished 1 assist away. So the other 2 plays cashed yesterday, even through the bumps also, but we've hit 11 of our last 12, looking to make it 14 of our last 15. You guys hit the like goal in yesterday's video, which is why we have 3 plays in today's video. If you want a third play tomorrow, be sure to leave a like on this video here, 175 likes, and I'll drop a third play tomorrow. While you're down there, subscribe with those notifications turned on. This NBA play that I'm posting today, I absolutely love. It is a 2-unit play for me. I don't do that very often, and I could see it getting bumped, which is why it is super important to have these notifications on or to join the DubClub. And with that being said, let's talk about the DubClub real quick, because you can get in right now with a 2-day free trial. We're coming off of back-to-back MLB sweeps over in the DubClub. I've hit all my main MLB plays in back-to-back days now, looking to make it 3 straight. Some MLB plays that are not in this video have already been posted to the DubClub, but with the DubClub, you get all of my plays sent straight to your phone. You'll see access to the Discord. You can talk to me and other members in the Discord chat right here, or you could also get plays from my contributors from Asmies, Emo, and Prop the Props. You guys all do great work. Asmies has been cashing left and right for about 2 months now. Ton of PGA value that he's been posting also. But you get all of that, and I haven't talked about my performance yet. In the NBA, we are over 80 units of profit. NHL and NBA combined, we are over 140 units of profit. So if you put that into perspective, if you get $50 on each play, you'll be over $7,000 of profit, as you can see there. So don't miss out any longer. There's that 2-day free trial available in my description, or you could join for the next month for only $15, which is $20 off of your first month. Both options are linked down in my description. We're going to get to these plays here. Like I said, I love this first NBA play that we're going to talk about today. Is a 2-unit play for me. Super excited about that. Do not nuke it. Again, it's only 2 units still. But be sure that you play responsibly and at your own risk. Leave a like on this video and subscribe. I really would appreciate it. The most important thing, though, is having those post notifications on so that we can get in before these lines get bumped or get removed. Let's get to these plays here. The first play I like is actually not going to be in the NBA category, but the NBA first half category on PrizePicks. If you're not on PrizePicks, I do have an alternative for you, but I love Kristaps Porzingis today, over 13.5 first half PRA. I would be shocked if this one does not get bumped probably within the next 2.5 hours, which again is why it's important to either join the DubClub or just have notifications on, or both. Let's talk about why I like Porzingis so much here. If you are not on PrizePicks, I also love his over first quarter points at 4.5. I think it's also a great spot, but his first half PRA just feels extremely off here. He's over in 78% of games this year, but his full game PRA, he's over in 73%. And the reason this one is so low is because of the massive blowout potential with a 19.5 point spread. And you see what he's done in his last few games here. Like, if you go to the last 20 here, he's only been over this in, like, what was that, 9 of his last 15, I think he's been over in. So what PrizePicks really does with their first half plays usually is just slice the first half, their full game line, just in half for the first half plays. So that's pretty much what they did here for the first half PRA. And you can see it's just been much better the entire year, really, with his first half PRA. Look what he's done in his last 20 games, over in 15 out of 20. He's been a lot more consistent in some of these more recent games in the first half. But also what's important is he's played more first half minutes than he has second half minutes, as you can see, like as of late, which is why, again, this line is so low, because in blowout situations, he's only played 23 full game minutes. But if you go over and look at the first half, in that Suns game, he actually played 18 minutes in the first half, as you can see there. Massive difference between his first half and his second half minutes. Like, he's over in 5 straight, as you can see there, for his first half, which is why I think there is so much edge right now on his first half PRA. You also can factor in games with Jaylen Brown being out. Without Jaylen Brown this year, he's over in 6 out of 8 games. These 2 misses here were kind of tougher matchups there, like against the Pistons, ranking in bottom 10, and Houston, ranking in the bottom 2, for example. So those were just tougher games for him, but all these other games that are not tough matchups, like even games that are still on the tougher side, like the Miami Heat he's been able to cover against, Cleveland, Brooklyn, as you can see there. The Hornets are a much better matchup here for centers and just overall, as you can see there. So I really like the matchup for him. And you can also factor in games where they win. He's over in 78% of games this year. But in games where they win, he's over in 79%, as you can see there. And 5 straight when they win without Jaylen Brown. So he's been in a great spot here. It's a massive spread, which is why I like the first half or the first quarter points so much more than I do like the full game. So I think he's in a great spot for his first half PRA. I think it just makes a lot of sense. If anyone's confused still, just let me know down in the comments. But just know that the first half just has so much more edge compared to the full game PRA. I think I made that pretty clear if you guys have not gotten that yet. But you see how other guys have been, the other centers in the first half against Charlotte. Every other center has had a pretty good showing against them except for Jaren Jackson and I mean, technically Kyle Filipowski, but still, like Zach Edey went ballistic against them. DeMontis went crazy. Miles Turner went crazy. Kelly O even went crazy against them. So these guys still have like a 14.5 point line or first half PRA line, and these guys just missed their line. But also those lines are a little bit more fair for them, and also they're just not the same player that, Kristaps Porzingis is. He also has a 3-ball, which is going to be very important. He has not played Charlotte so far this year, but in the past against them, he's had 5 and 16 against them. But not really, take that with a grain of salt. Those are last year's stats. I mean, you can see the difference between last year compared to this year. I mean, there's just a massive difference there. But overall, I think Porzingis is in a great spot for his first half PRA. I love the spot as a 2-unit play for me. Again, do not nuke this, but I do think this is in a great spot here for Porzingis. Before we get to my next play, if you're not already on Betr Picks, it's one of the best apps out there right now. It's available in a ton of states, as you can see there. And if you use promo code DOMG props, not DOMG, but DOMG props, you get your first entry on them, win or lose, up to $250. And don't quote me on it, but I believe you get a free square. And for all users right now, we have another free square in Alexander Volkanovski here in the UFC at half a significant strike. His normal line is a 98.5, so it's an awesome promo they got going on for all users. So I think you might be able to get 2 free squares and your first entry on them up to $250 if you use promo code DOMG props. Download their app, down in my description. But I haven't even talked about this yet, but they have discounts every single day on the board. They usually have 2 discounts every single day. Right now, we have Yamamoto down to 4.5 strikeouts, down to 5.5. Nice little 1 strikeout discount there. That does matter a lot in the MLB for sure. Then you also have LeBron James here discounted from 22.5 points down to 19.5. And again, they have these discounts every single day on this app. So it's a really, really awesome, cool app. They have a ton of promos for all different types of players. Get it for yourself in my description. Use that promo code DOMG props to get your first entry on them, win or lose, up to $250. All right, now getting into my next play here. This one is going to be over in we'll start with the NBA here, and we'll go with the MLB play for the third play. But we're going to go over to the points category here because I like Kevin Huerter over 9.5 points. I think the Goblin's in a very good spot at 9.5. I do also like his over 13.5 points. I would have really preferred if it was 12.5. He's landed on 13 quite a few times, but I do think that spot is pretty good also. But it depends if which one you guys want to take. Like yesterday, I said I love Dyson Daniels over 2.5 assists. I also love his 10.5 rebounds and assists. He went crazy for like 15, 16, 17. So it's really up to you. I like the lower risk option at 9.5, but if you are a riskier player, you want to take on more risk, I do also like the 13.5 points, but I personally played the 9.5. He's had at least 10 points in 43% of games, as you can see here, and in his last 20 games, he's been over in 16 of his last 20. He's had at least 8 points in all of his last 20 games, as you can see there. And he also has a really nice matchup now against the Washington Wizards, who rank in the bottom 2 of points per game allowed this year. The opposing guards have been a very, very good matchup, as you can see there, being a top 10 matchup essentially for both guard positions. There's a couple of injuries to this Bulls team, like Lonzo Ball being out, of course. You have Ayo, who's been out for a very long time now. Not anything that's really going to impact him too much here, but what I want to focus on too, though, is his minutes here. He's played extremely high, consistent minutes of at least 28, but really he's seen a lot more as of late, like 32 plus, 37 plus minutes essentially. But a lot of these games too earlier, by the way, that he's missed were with the Kings. Now he's with the Bulls, of course, where he's only missed this line 4 times when he's played at least 28 minutes. They're also 16.5 point favorites in wins this year. He's been over in all but 2 games this year when playing at least 28 minutes. And both misses were on the hook with 9 points. So I think he's in a great spot, clearly over his points here. I mean, like I said, I think 13.5 is pretty good also, but I would love this spot if it was at 12.5. But I'm being a little bit picky here. Instead of going with the 13.5, I'm just going with the 9.5 here and just taking it there. You could also, I think it's 11.5 points. Yeah, he's got 11.5 points on the board too. It's a little bit of a better payout, which I also don't really mind. But I think he's in a great spot regardless. Here are opposing shooting guards have been against the Washington Wizards. These guys have been great, of course. Jared Butler had a 12.5 point line. He had 13. Lonnie Walker, 17.5 point line, had 24. A lot of these guys are doing pretty damn good against this team, like Derek White even with 19 or KCP with 13. So overall, I think Kevin's in a pretty good spot here. Give me the over for his 9.5 points. Let's get to my third play. And before we do that, again, be sure to get this video to 175 likes. That way we have a third play tomorrow. You guys have been watching these videos a ton and just running up that like number. That should be pretty easy for you guys. Thank you guys for all the love as of late in these videos. But let's get to this third play here. This one's going to be Brady Singer over his strikeouts, and I like the Goblin spot at 4.5. 6 is a pretty steep line. I also don't mind the over 5.5 if you want to take on a little bit more risk for a better payout. Of course, it is up to you, but the baseline here I think is pretty good at 4.5 for Brady Singer. There's another main square NBA play already posted to the DubClub, by the way, with a lot more coming today. We have 15 NBA games, 15 MLB plays, so there should be a ton in the DubClub today, hopefully. Plays get posted all throughout the day, but you can see Singer has been over this in both games this year with 8 and 7 strikeouts. This time around, he only needs 5, preferably at least 6. But you can see that he has been pretty good at this line, even in the past, over in 63% in wins, since they are favored in this game. I think just very slightly, he was over in 60%, and has been a lot better as of late. But he's in a much different spot this time around. Like last year, he was with the Kansas City Royals. This year now, he is with the Cincinnati Reds. And you can see that the matchup is pretty good for him here. I mean, the Pirates are a pretty good team at striking out against righties, at least in the favor of going over here. And they do really struggle against the slider, which he throws the most. He throws it about 45.5% of the time, and that strikeout percentage for a lot of these guys is extremely high. You can see a lot of these guys like O'Neal Cruz at 33%. Tommy Pham is a decent spot still at 23.5%, but you have a lot of these high guys here like Jack Sawinski and Brian Reynolds striking out at 35 and 36% of the time against the slider. So these guys have a very high strikeout percentage against this top pitch, which is a very good sign. And opposing righties have been pretty good for the most part against this Pittsburgh Pirates team. Like more of the high strikeout guys are going to cover this line. Like Marcus Stroman's not going to cover the line there against the Pirates, for example. Pepe probably should have a little bit more than 3 there, but you have like Shane Baz with 10 strikeouts against them. Max Meyer with 7. Alcantara here with 7 against them. So some of these guys are having pretty good games against them. And with Singer being just a good strikeout pitcher this year, that slider being his top pitch where they love to strike out against that pitch, I think it's a great spot to have at least 5, but preferably 6+ here against the Pittsburgh Pirates tonight. Thank you for watching. We are not done with the free plays yet, though, but a couple reminders. Don't miss out on joining the DubClub. You can do so for free in my description with a 2-day free trial. If you don't like it, you can just cancel it. But the better option, if you want to get in long term and for a lot cheaper, is to join right now. You get in now for the next month for only $15, which is $20 off of your first month. So you get it right now for $20 for cheaper, or you can check it out for the next 2 days for free. It's up to you, but I do recommend joining the DubClub because we've been cashing left and right this NBA and NHL season. We're starting to heat up in the MLB after a rougher start, but we have now since had back-to-back sweeps, and MLB is historically my best sport, so not worried at all, and we are starting to heat up and go on a pretty good run. So don't miss out any longer. Claim one of those offers in my description, but here's some more free plays from the Daily Grind tool. This tool here can show off the best expected value plays on an app like PrizePicks or Underdog. Right now on PrizePicks, I love some CSGO value plays as well as some like Brady Singer here over Fantasy Score, which is a pretty good thing for our strikeouts here also. But you see Derek White here is also favored under PRA, and Jalen Pickett here is favored under rebounds and assists, for example, also. They also love the Reds and the Pirates, no run first inning. This tool is awesome. We found all these plays without doing any research at all. Get this tool here for yourself in my description by clicking on the Fantasy Bundle and scroll down. Use promo code DOMG. But they have another tool available in my description sold separately called the AS Generator. This tool is over 2,000 units of profit since last year, and there are 19 slips currently on the board for apps like Underdog and PrizePicks. Right now on PrizePicks, they love this 6-pick flex, which contains some value right now in Jimmy Butler over PRA, Bryce Elder under earned runs, and Nikola Vukovic over rebounds and assists, for example. It has a profit margin right now of 11.42%, and if you want to put it into PrizePicks, it is super easy to do. Click on Bet on PrizePicks, and it puts the entry into PrizePicks for you, just like that. This tool is extremely powerful and a very, very awesome tool in my opinion. If you want it for yourself, you can get it in my description by clicking on this time the slip generator and scrolling down. Be sure to use promo code DOMG. Thank you for watching. So for the next video, best of luck. If you want to make over $5,000 profit on PrizePicks, you watch this video right here.